I want to take a couple of minutes to look at the story of Balaam because I feel like there's so much pertinent information in terms of traits like arrogance and anger, and talking about relationships with people that are close to us. And so to recap really quickly, we know that Balak wanted to curse the Jewish people because he was worried that, they were going to have a war and be annihilated. So he came to Balaam, who was known to be able to talk to God and bless people and curse people and have success in that. And as we know, Balaam understood that God told him not to curse them because they're blessed people and they will not be able to be cursed. And he understood that, but Balak, because he was so persistent and trying to give him the greatest of briberies and honors, so Balaam had this desire to go, even though he knew in his mind that this couldn't really be a successful mission. And he kept trying until then God said, okay, if you want to go, you can go. So we're at that point where he gets up early in the morning, saddles up his donkey, and tries to go. And this is the famous story, of course, where as he's trying to go, that God sends these angels to block the donkey, which Balaam himself does not see, but the donkey sees, and the donkey doesn't want to go, and he stops going, and then he presses, Balaam's foot on the side, and all of this obstructions getting Balaam really angry, so he hits the donkey. And then, as we know, God gives the donkey ability to speak, and he says to him, what are you doing? Haven't I always been loyal, and why are you hitting me? And that's when God opens the eyes of Balaam, and he sees that there was an angel with a sword on the way that the donkey apparently saw, that Balaam didn't see, and that the donkey was just trying to save their lives by not going. So herein lies a whole host of messages. Okay, let's start with arrogance. Balaam was a person who had this great reputation. He was already a famed individual, and people knew that he spoke to God, and he obviously knew that himself. He knew that he was on a level spiritually above most people, almost all the people. As we said, he was the Moshe equivalent for the non-Jewish nations, of being that high level. And with that, unfortunately, he came a huge amount of arrogance, that's why he's opposed to Moshe, who was the most humble of nations, getting that position, speaking to God. Balaam, however, being in that position, couldn't help but have this sense of arrogance, which is a difficult thing not to have. It really is, when you see things and know things more than most people. So he had that, and the problem was here we're told about this she donkey that was, if anybody knows about having a pet, I mean, we're told about his relationship with this donkey on all sorts of levels. But anyways, he was very, very close to this animal. Now, if this animal who served him loyal, as the donkey says, all along, and all of a sudden is not going, there's something to be said for that. There's something, he should have treated it right. He should have treated his loyal donkey well and tried to see what it was. He understood things on a higher level. He should know that if there's some reason, okay, that the donkey's not ill as well and it's just not going, being a prophet like he was, he should have seen that as a sign. He should have seen that as, animals have this sense, and they know and they can sense spirits and things that we can't. And he was so blinded by his desire to do something, by his arrogance of being above everyone and everything, obviously above a donkey. And he didn't take a sign where it was supposed to be. Now, God had given him signs all along not to go. I mean, first was the highest sign coming from the mouth of God, that don't go, these people are blessed. But his desires, his desires for fame or money, sometimes as we can know something in the highest level in our brain, but if we want something, all that information goes out the door. And this was a case with Bilam, and he wanted something, and so his heart and his mind were at odds with each other. And his arrogance is what led him to think that he can manipulate the whole situation. He can manipulate the people. He can manipulate God. He can manipulate his donkey. He can manipulate everything, because he got on that level of arrogance of, I can make everything work. And that is what caused him to go on this mission that was doomed for failure. And that's what caused him to take the closest thing to him, which was the donkey, and to hit it, to abuse it. This is a lesson we need to know, that sometimes in our life we want to do something that we know is wrong, but we have such a strong desire to do something. And despite the fact of what we know, we somehow rationalize in our brain that we can make something work. And then the people that are closest to us, they come and they try to help us. They come and try to stop us. They do everything in their power. And we end up being abusive towards them. We end up looking at them like we get angry, because we know they're trying to stop us from what we want to do, despite the fact that they're doing it because they love us and they care for us and they don't want us to be hurt. And we end up, because of our anger, because they're stopping us from something that ultimately is bad and harmful to us, and we end up being abusive in all sorts of ways, be it verbally or any other way, and we hold it against them. And that's what Bilam did, and that's a lesson that we have to learn just in terms of our everyday activity, is that, you know, God gives you the people around you. God gives you simanim. He gives you hints and things all around you to help you. And if what you want so badly is not working out in every sense of the word, even down to the lowest of people that you think you're so arrogant, you think you're so above, that you would look at them on the level of a donkey, like I'm so high above them that they don't even have intelligence of an animal, because that's what Bilam would have thought about any person. That it doesn't matter if you're smarter, okay? It doesn't matter how much more you know. If everything around you is working against you to achieve something that you know deep in your heart is wrong, it's a favor, it's a blessing, it's what's best for you. And, you know, when God came to him and he finally saw, when he saw the angel and noticed it, and he apologized that he sinned, he still didn't say anything to the donkey, which, we got to learn from that, okay? On the way, when we see, you know, we're so worried about us on a higher level and taking care of just us, and when we hurt people around that are helping us, we have to go back and we acknowledge that and understand that they were doing what's best for us, and, you know, apologize and be sensitive to our loved ones, because, you know, we all make those kinds of mistakes. But go back and say something, and we have to take this as a message that anytime we're headed out and we get tons of messages and the people that love us are trying to give us messages, take a second, stop, breathe, listen, understand, because whatever it is not going to work out for you if it's messing with everything and all the loved ones around you. And take it as a message. Take the messages you're getting in your life, analyze them, and don't go so much in that time by the desires that you have, but when you know something's wrong, just, you know, go with that. Usually I'm somebody who says, go with your instincts, what you know is right, but his instincts, it's not his instinct that wanted him to do it. It was his desire to have everything, to have it all. He had so much and he just wanted that next level. And that's just being really gluttonous in terms of, he had so much and he just really could have been the leader, as we know, of all the nations of the world, had he not stumbled by his desire to have all the fame and fortune in the world. So, Shabbat Shalom. Let's take that to heart. Be well.